Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, that was a damn near pathetic series by the Baltimore Orioles against the Atlanta Braves. Yes, the Atlanta Braves are a really good team, but the Orioles had many opportunities to win more than one game. And depending on how you want to look at it, they were a few of their own mistakes away from sweeping the series. And they just didn't do it. Again, mistakes. Things that maybe they've done before and just haven't figured out how to correct, or we got all new ones. Very disappointing. Let's get right to it. You can see them on massivesports.com. I will get to this website a little later. Let's go to MLB.com, the scores section. I'm going to look at each individual game here. Showed you last video how I get into this. You get MLB.com, then you go to scores, and you can scroll, find the right day, pick the game. Bam, here you go. You open up, you get a wrap section, you get a box section, you get a video section. I start with the box section first, and then I go to some videos. This is game 1. Baltimore Orioles 6, Atlanta Braves 7. Final in 10 innings. Beavers leading off. Working out okay so far. Hitting a walk for Beavers. Pete Alonso, 2 hits. Gunnar Henderson over with a walk. Yeah. It seems like every time you get to the point where it's, okay, enough's enough. You got to move Gunnar Henderson down. He starts hitting, and then he cools off. And then you're stuck with him in the top 3 of your lineup. Batting .223 at least as of this game, or as of the end of this game. .223 with a .695 OPS. Okay. Over with a walk. Taylor Ward, cleanup. 1 hit. Colton Cowser, 3 walks. I'm sorry. Who is this? Colton Cowser walked 3 times in a game. I thought I'd seen everything. I mean, what's next? Are we actually going to see pigs fly? Tyler O'Neill, 1 hit. Yeah, pinch hitting for the guy that walks 3 times in a game. And it actually worked. Well, it's what happens if you pinch hit 2 or 3 times a game. You're going to get 1 to go. Leody Taveras over with a walk. Jackson Holliday hit and an RBI. Jeremiah Jackson over, but gets credited with an RBI. Actually, technically, he doesn't get an at-bat because it is a sacrifice, so he gets the RBI. Christian Encarnacion Strand. 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and a walk. Hitting 8th out of 9. Okay. Chadwick Trump. Finally, a hit between Trump and Huff. 1 hit, 3 at-bats. Kobe Mayo pinch hits late. 0 for 1. Well, Sam Huff got to go in there and catch. 0 for 1. Encarnacion Strand and Alonso with doubles. Encarnacion Strand with a home run. And that's the guy batting 8th. At the end of this game, by the end of this game, 400 average, 1,300, over 1,300 OPS. And he's batting 8th. Look, I get that it's a small sample size. I understand that it's a small sample size. And let me say it again. It's a small sample size. But 8th, hitting in front of what I got to say is one of the weakest hitter combinations or position combinations at the plate that I've ever seen. I got an article a little later by Rockabacco actually giving us the numbers. Huff and Trump are 1 for 24 this stretch. 1 for 24. and you got Trump hitting behind Encarnacion, you know what's going to happen at some point with as badly as Trump or Huff is hitting. They're going to intentionally walk Strand to get to Trump, even if the bases are loaded, because, or let's say not if the bases are loaded, even if there's a runner or two on, because Encarnacion Strand has a high-ish average and a high-ish OPS depending on sample size. Your catchers don't. And yeah, it's happened. By all means, keep the guy. Who is making this line? I mean, that's a terrible decision. I feel like reporters over the years have asked, because it seems like we always question some of these lineup decisions, and it's whether it's Mansolino, whether it's Brandon Hyde, whether it's Craig Albernaz, Tony Mansolino, who now actually works for the Braves. The answer is always that Mike Elias and his office and his group, they don't tell the manager what lineup to make. They, at least, that paraphrasing their answers there. But maybe they should. You put the dude eighth. Okay, I get maybe why you wouldn't want to say this early. You put him at 4th or 3rd. But come on, he's got to be higher than 8th. You got to put somebody competent behind him. Otherwise, they're going to start walking him. Which they did. Cowser, 2 stolen bases. Dylan Beavers caught stealing. Good job. Ridiculous. Trevor Rogers gets a start in this game. Way to squander starts now. You can tell that Mike Elias spent a lot of resources to improve the starting rotation. It's obvious. But what is also obvious, he spent so much trying to do things for the starting rotation that the bullpen was neglected. Okay, fine. You brought Kittredge back. You re-signed Helsley. There were other upgrades that were needed. There were. They just didn't happen. Hell, because you lost or traded away Soto and Dominguez and who the hell ever else, you had a few things that you needed to upgrade. Now your bullpen's blowing all the leads for you. Trevor Rogers going 7 full innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And y'all lost? Because you're a bad baseball team. You're a bad baseball team. To a certain extent, you're just a bad organization, because as many bad baseball teams as you fielded out there, you've had all these high draft picks, and then you look at some of these douchebags on the field and you're like, they've been in this system for 5, 6, 7, 8 years? Sure as hell doesn't look like it. Maybe you can argue that Adley Rutschman looks like a finished, fully developed, well-developed product. That's it. Michael Elias has been the GM and in charge of the draft, overseeing them. That's all you got? That's all you got. Okay, I mean, I guess you get him credit for developing Kramer or Bradish, pulling the trigger and getting Trevor Rogers. You're not hitting on none of your draft picks. You at least 5 draft picks a year for the past, 8 years? That's at least 40? You got one guy. Okay. Rico Garcia, first man out of the pen. I don't know what the hell happened to Rico Garcia. I really don't. Over the first 2 months, straight up Rico Houdini. Maybe even going back to his first 3 months, including the last month of last season. Just getting out of so many jams. All of a sudden, the last 2 months here, he's been, Rico, I give up home runs all the time. So why? What was the score here in the 8th inning? 3-2. It was 3-2 in the 8th inning. And you know that Rico Garcia is having troubles. Oh, and this is Friday's game. Thursday was an off day. And you know Rico Garcia has been having his issues. That's who you chose? Your primary setup man for this game. You got to cover the 8th, and then you got to cover the 9th inning. Because you're winning. And you chose Rico Garcia. You didn't choose Tyler Wells, who I think should be ahead of Rico Garcia. Andrew Kittredge. Yennier Cano. All on at least day and a half of rest. Those 3 guys. You chose Rico Garcia. And what did Rico Garcia do? I mean, he got out of the inning. Gave up a run in the process. Gave up the lead in the process. That's why there's a BS here. It's not for bullshit, even though the decision was bullshit. It's for blown safe. 1 inning pitch for Rico Garcia. The 8th inning, full 8th inning. 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So it's like he gives up the home run, and then he gets the strikeouts. How about the other way around? Get the strikeouts first. Tyler Wells in for the 9th inning. Sadly, no longer a save situation. He does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Andrew Kittredge in for the 10th inning, again, because it's tied. Only able to get 2 outs in the 10th inning. Does give up 2 hits and 4 runs, but 0 are earned runs. So not only do you make bad decisions about who the hell to bring in from the damn bullpen, but then your damn defense can't even support your damn closer out there in the damn 10th inning. Some of your high-round draft picks that you spent years developing. And you know what? I'll call him out. He spent how many years being developed by his damn dad because he was on the field the whole damn time. Spent at least, 20 years being developed into a professional baseball player. That play was inexcusable. I'll show you. You'll see it. Kittredge does not walk anybody, and he gets 2 strikeouts. Yeah, Grant Wolfram in to get out of the inning. Of course, he gets out of the inning, not before giving up a damn hit, though. So 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts for Wolfram. Take a look at ABS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 overturned calls. 8. How many confirmed? 1, 2, 3. 3 confirmed. Wow. By ABS standards, to me, the players crushed your umpires. But that's just my personal opinion. IBB is an intentional basis on balls. National League, so they're walking people. Yeah. Let's get to some of the videos. And I'll get to my notes. Really? You're gonna do this damn early? Seriously? You worthless bastards. You worthless, you damn worthless. Why? Why must you do that? Whatever. It's what I got to go with. It's not exactly something I can control. Notes. Way to run yourselves out of the innings. I'm sorry. Let me say that correctly in proper English. Close to English. Way to run yourselves out of the inning, assholes. Good job. Maybe we have been laying off of them for a while. And they just got careless. But Beavers gets on, luckily. But I understand you want to be a little aggressive. You want to move up bases. Who doesn't? But you got to get there. And if you're not going to get there, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, you're right. You're right out there. You're right. Hindsight is 2020. But I feel that Dylan Beavers is running a lot. And I don't think he should be running as much as he is. Because he's still a rookie. There he is going. Gunner swings through. Bam. Tagged out. Inning over. Of course, they challenged it. Didn't go Orioles' way. Maybe if you were looking at the damn base. He's got his head turned away. Whatever. Back to the notes. Trump finally gets a hit. And he gets the third with less than 2 outs. And of course they can't get him in. Sounds about right for this team, don't it? Yep, sounds about right. Why Garcia in the 8th? Already talked about it, but you're going to see visual representation of it. Well, it'll be a couple minutes, but it's coming. Jackson I wrote it as Jackson. I should have wrote it as Holiday. Jackson Holiday airmails the ball to second base. Look, he makes a decent diving play to get to stop the ball. Now, for one reason or another, the runner thought maybe he might catch it on the fly, so he didn't run to second base. Yeah, there was a runner on first base, and I swear to shit, looking at it, I think Jackson Holiday could have stood up, ran to second base, and beaten the base runner. Yeah, he had that much time. And he just throws a lawn dart 20 feet, maybe 10 feet. 10, 20 feet over Gunnar Henderson's head on the second base bag. You had all day. All day. And this was the time in the game where your team really needs you to come through for them. Can't do it. It's great. It's great. Catchers can't hit. Talked about that a little bit, and you'll see it a little more in some of the other games here in this series. Listen, I think maybe I did mention it last video, but I'll say it again because I don't want to try to steal nobody's idea. But it's a good idea. Well, I listen to 105.7 a lot around here in the Baltimore area, and between the Big Bad Morning Show, Vinny and Haney, and Inside Access, I don't remember who exactly said it. It could have been one of 10 guys. But they mentioned that with the inept hitting of your 2 current catchers, Sam Huff and Chadwick Trump, that you should start treating them like the National League used to treat their pitchers. You come up and there's guys on base with less than 2 outs, bunt them over. Bunt them over. Because at the very least, or hopefully anyway, the idea is you'll stay out of the double play. At the very least, you got an opportunity for a 2-out hit. If your catchers ground it, roll over on one, and they've done it in this series at least once, 2 outs. And if there's already 1 out, then the inning's over. And you miss your chance. Again. It'd be different if they weren't 1 for 24. I did the math a little bit ago. 0.041? That's the batting average. Which doesn't sound right, but at the same time, 1 for 10 would be 100. And therefore, 1 for 20 would be 50. 0.050. They're worse than that. But yet, these are the decisions made by this Orioles organization. And when you hear the play-by-play and the commentators and the pre-game show and the post-game show and the manager interview and the owner interview and the general manager / president of baseball operations. You hear them speak. This is a great organization with great players and great coaches and great managers and great front office people making great decisions. Except when you watch the product on the field, it sure as hell doesn't look like it. Speaking of owner, right on cue. Apparently, there are no cameras down either foul line. If there were, we could tell definitively one way or another whether this ball Cowser hit was a home run or not. But because there's no camera pointed down the baselines with the foul lines, we can't really tell. You look at that angle, it looks fair. Even at this angle, it looks fair. But that's not straight down the line. It's not. Why is there no camera angle that's straight down the line? Why? You did that. People running this organization. Okay, maybe it was a little bit more on the people that built the stadium. But improvements and upgrades and adding this and adding that. And a bar here in the flag court now. Where the roof, yeah, it's slanted, but it's higher in the front, which means there's going to be a couple home run balls that go in there. Now, if you slant it the other way and the lower end of the roof is towards the field, that would cut down on that. The only thing I can think of is they're thinking when it rains, they don't want all that water pouring off the roof onto the flag court. I mean, you could sweep it off, I guess, just to get it off there, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before balls go into that damn bar. However, just bad decisions all around. I missed the Chadwick Trump thing here, but y'all was probably watching it, hopefully anyway. He got on with his hit, couldn't get in. Oh, this is a fifth. You see Chadwick Trump there. Here's Pete Alonso getting the ball off the wall here. I mean, he's a catcher. Okay, I mean, he can't score on that. I don't think Pete Alonso was getting a third either, but I mean, maybe. Who knows? Second and third, one out. You can't get one in. You can't get one in. Not one. Because here's Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson. Your franchise shortstop. Mr. I'm so damn good. I'm not overrated. I should have gotten more playing time in the World Baseball Classic. Mr. I got Scott Boras as my agent. Because I'm going to want $35, $40 million a year. Because I think I'm worth it. Because I'm a high draft pick. You've got to come through in those moments. You have to. Otherwise, you're not going to be worth the money. Especially when you've got over 10 errors already on the season. Yeah. Over the years, opportunities have come around to trade people like Jackson Holliday or Gunnar Henderson or Adley Rutschman. Didn't want to because you wanted to hold on to them because they were high-value prospects. You thought maybe they'd turn for you. If you sell them, then, you're selling high and you could get a haul for them. Well, you didn't. So, I mean, was that a good decision? Tough to say. Of course, again, hindsight's 20/20. Knowing what I know now, I'd trade Holliday and Henderson in a heartbeat. I really would. I'd probably hold on to Cowser because I think he's really good defensively. I mean, his defense in center field, okay, maybe it could be better as far as, center fielders. But compared to the three of them, Holliday, Henderson, Cowser is a superior defender. Absolutely. Hell, you can argue that he's an okay center fielder, but you put him in left or right, superior. At least you got that, okay? Because there are many ways to win a ball game. You either superior firepower and you score more points than your opponent, or superior defense and you just don't let your opponent any extra opportunities and take away some opportunities from them by your superior defense. Yes, you can absolutely do that. You can absolutely win like that. Here they go. Walking Christian Encarnacion Strand to get to Chadwick Trump. Runners on. Okay, he hits the baseball. And it looks like it might get in there. And it took. The dude really did need to dive for that. And he caught it. And he hung on. He stuck the landing. It took an outstanding play. But you know what? Either way, it could have been a base hit by that much. But that's why you walk him. That's why you walk Christian Encarnacion Strand, because Trump's right behind him. It's a terrible decision. That's a terrible decision by the person making the line. Terrible. I'm not even really following along here. Here is Rico Garcia. Fourth pitch of the at-bat. He does have one out already. Home run. 7 pitches into his appearance. To his credit, it wasn't a strike. It really wasn't. But it was in the middle of the plate. Yeah, if ever you thought that maybe the strike zone needed to be bigger to help the hitters, it really doesn't. The hitters do not need a bigger strike zone. If anything, the pitchers need a bigger strike zone. And that argument would be, oh, well, then it's harder for hitters. Yeah, okay, it's harder for hitters, but they can cover more than what the strike zone is. They really can. Just ridiculous. I do want to fast forward a little bit just to speed this along. Orioles had plenty of chances. They just couldn't get it done. Because here you're going to have, strikeout by Mayo. You get 2 outs here, but walk to Beaver, single by Alonso, and then an intentional walk to Gunnar Henderson to get to Taylor Ward, which does kind of seem odd. But it really does. But it works. So Walt Weiss and the Atlanta Braves have demonstrated how intentionally walking certain hitters to have a more favorable matchup can work for you. I don't know how the hell Taylor Ward doesn't beat that out. I mean, it's a hot shot to third, so, okay, it's high speed, but the guy drops it. He drops it, has time to pick it up, and then fire. And you sort of make it. Here's Jackson Holliday. Look at this throw. Okay, maybe it's only 10 feet over him. Look at that. You're going to see a replay here. Watch the replay. Look at where the runner is. He could have gotten to his feet and ran there and beaten him. What the hell, man? Now is the time, and of course, now is the time where your high round draft picks, and okay, Jackson Holliday was drafted at what, 2022? Of course, in 2026. I mean, that's 4 years. Maybe, he was sped up maybe a year, probably. But now's the time where some of these high round draft picks, Henderson, Cowser, Mayo, Holliday, Rutschman, they need to be winning ball games for you. Otherwise, your core is trash. All those draft picks, that you spent, and you couldn't even establish up the middle core. Catcher, shortstop, second base, center fielder. Maybe you can argue that at least defensively you got a center fielder and a catcher, but you don't really got anything else. And yeah, even, the Orioles gave up 4 runs in that damn inning. Bam. With that 2-run home run, there was a sacrifice fly before that by Jeremiah Jackson. The Orioles put up 3. And look who's at the plate. Sam Huff. Not that you really expected anything out of him at that point, but that's not what I wanted. But would have been nice if you had a more capable hitter up there. What is Sam Huff's average? 125. I'll get to an article that talks about some of the other options that the Orioles maybe have, or I guess at least, maybe 2 of them. I'll get to that a little later. Game 2, Baltimore Orioles 3, Atlanta Braves 2. For giving them all this shit, thank you to the Orioles for making the one game you went out of this series the one that I went to. Because I'd have been pissed off watching you play like this shit, and it's like, that's the one I went to. I'm glad I didn't go to one of those other 2 games. I'd have been pissed. Oh, and it was Hawaiian Shirt Weekend. So how many people do you think went to the stadium this weekend? A lot. Hawaiian shirts are very, very popular giveaways. Dylan Beavers, 2 hits and an RBI and a walk. Okay, yeah, so far that's working. Pete Alonso, over. Not so sure that's working. Gunnar Henderson, 1 hit and an RBI. 3 strikeouts. Taylor Ward, 1 hit and a walk. Christian Encarnacion Strand, batting 5th this night. Why the hell was he batting 8th the other night? Hell, his average and his OPS have gone down since then. Who the hell is running this shit? Batting 5th, hit and an RBI. Leody Taveras, over with a walk. Tyler O'Neill, over. Jackson Holiday, 2 hits and a walk. Chadwick Trump, over, 3 strikeouts. Colt Kowser pinch hitting late. Excuse me. Jackson Holiday with a double. Gunnar Henderson with a home run. That's what I'm talking about. Just every so often he flashes a little bit just so you don't what? Cut him, send him down, push him down in the lineup. Pete Alonso with a stolen base. Why? Okay, fine. Brandon Young gets a start in this game. Minor league free agent. If I understand it, or if I read correctly, if Baseball Reference or who the hell ever it was that I looked at, and I can't remember now. Not drafted. Minor league free agent. Now, to a certain extent, Mike Elias is good at that. He's good at signing some minor league free agents and finding ones that can help the ball club. Drafting? Apparently not. Does better after other teams have drafted him. Maybe you should just start trading away draft picks. Because you can't exactly do a lot with them. Brandon Young, 6 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Some of it is a little bit of development. Adding a splitter to his repertoire has helped a lot. Grant Wolfram gets the last 2 outs of the 7th inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Rico Garcia in for the 8th inning again. Now this time the BS is bullshit. This time the BS is bullshit. I mean, come on now, man. Look, I get it. You want to get the guy in there. You want him to stack good outings. But you know what? Not in these damn close-ass ball games. Because here he goes again, blowing the lead again. You've got to learn from your mistakes. Rico Garcia pitching the 4/8 inning. 1 hit, 1 run. No walks, 1 strikeout. Yennier Cano in for the 9th inning. Does get credit for the win because the Orioles offense walks it off. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Let's look at ABS. 1-2 overturned. 1-2-3 confirmed. Cool. Like there was like all in this Matt Olson at bat, all in Matt Olson's at bat. There's no ABS any other place. Yeah, because they mentioned it in the game. Maybe some, or actually, as I was watching the video here, maybe some kind of makeup call because that's a thing now. Or it's always been a thing. It's just you can't exactly get away with it. Of course, Chadwick Trump trying to challenge too, and yeah. Confirmed all time. Thanks, guy. Thanks. So not only are you not contributing offensively, but you're wasting all our ABS challenges. Thanks. Thanks. Damn, man. All right, let's get to some videos, and I'll talk about what the hell I want to talk about. These notes are not the only thing that happens in the game. You see a nice play there by Pete Alonso. Good feed over to Brandon Young, but it's just certain key talking points to me. Not necessarily the only things I will talk about, but things that I really want to talk about. Taking advantage of play not paid. Play. That maybe I'm just writing it down. I'm writing these down as bullet points. I'm not trying to win any grammar awards. But taking advantage of, let's say, not necessarily errors or not necessarily bad plays. It's just plays that the Braves just didn't make. You took advantage a little bit better this night in some of the other 2 games. You had opportunities, you just couldn't take advantage of them. This game, you did, at least more than the Braves did of your mistakes. Yep. Of course, that's what happens when you put them all the way up to 5th. I would have said 6th, 7th, but it's fine. The plays in specifically you're going to see in the 3rd, 7th, and 9th. Plays that the Braves just couldn't quite make. You got to capitalize on them. Brandon Young, and his fielding in the 6th inning. He's got some goofy ways to field baseballs. At some point, it may come back to bite him in the ass. So far, it hasn't. I would say he's got to stop doing it, but sometimes you do want to let your players beat themselves out there, but at the same time, you'll see in the 6th inning. Gunner's bad defense rears its ugly head in the 7th inning. That one, I'm going to have to show you another video because they didn't really put this in the condensed game here. It's going to be bad plays here. You're going to see Bermuda Triangle out here. It's really the center fielder's ball. I mean, you look at where he coming in. It was his ball. It's not an easy play for the shortstop. He's also very young at shortstop. Unable to make the play. Of course, at the same time, Pete Alonso, you're only on first base. You're only on first base with that? Okay. Goodbye, Gunnar Henderson. Thanks for being here. Garcia blows the lead again. Okay, some numbers that talking about on the broadcast, actually when I was watching Sunday's game, or maybe it was Monday's game. I don't remember if it was Monday's game or Sunday's game, but Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald on the call. There you go. That was not necessarily an error because it was over 100 miles an hour off the bat. It's a very tough play, but you got Pete Alonso to score. Now back to what I'm going to talk about, Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald. Kevin Brown pulls out some notes, and he says, Dylan Beavers, after this game, 3 career walk-offs. Gunnar Henderson, 0. Let that sink in. And oh yeah, spoiler alert. Beavers' 3rd walk-off to win this game. Hasn't even played a full year. Has he even played half a year? What, the late August call-up last year, or was it a September? It was a September call. Messiah got called up late August. Beavers early September. Beavers was injured. He's barely played half a season. He's got 3 walk-offs. How many opportunities does Henderson have? And he got 0. That is why, out of all the players getting extensions from the Orioles, that's why Gunnar Henderson is not one of them. I can't tell you why Adley Rutschman is not one of them, because he's definitely the best draft pick that, so far anyway, that Mike Elias has drafted. But Gunnar Henderson, he's not worth the extension. He's not. Even if you could say, oh, well, his bad play would reduce the price. If you want to win World Series and you want to win playoff games, you got to have a better shortstop. You just got to. All right, what are we getting to here? 5th inning. There's that. Double plays. Yep, double plays. Gotta love when your hitters hit into them double plays. Gotta love it. Yeah. Finally, Gunnar does something to help the damn team win. And his home runs, I feel like he got up to 12 or 13 within the first 2 months of the season. Then the next 2 months, what does he hit? 4 home runs? The hell is going on? It's almost like he was swinging angry because he thought he deserves more playing time in the World Baseball Classic. And now he realizes why he didn't get as much playing time. And he's dejected. And it's somewhat evident in his play. Yep, on the weird swing there by Ozzie Albies. We're going to get somewhere, okay, to end of the inning here. The top of the 6th inning is what I'm looking for. It's not going to be before the Braves get a run, which is disappointing. Yeah, this is that Matt Olson at bat where Olson Olson challenges twice. I think Trump only challenges once, but through the whole game, it was this Matt Olson at bat. The Matt Olson at bats. Where all the challenges took place. It was weird. Weird. But again, trying to get some makeup calls. Here's Trumpy. He's like, oh, I'm going to challenge now. I'm going to have some luck. And you ain't got no luck. That's like a foot below the zone. So look. Start telling them what to do then. Look, if they not going to do the shit them damn selves, then you got to make the decision for them. No more challenging. Because otherwise, you're wasting the challenges and then nobody else can use them. Yes, you want your catcher to make some challenges and get some calls overturned. The problem is you ain't got an infinite number. If you're wrong twice, you got nothing. If you're wrong once, then you got to play the rest of the game knowing that if you're wrong, you got none. Double, there's going to be a ground out here to score a run, and then you're going to have a ground out to get out of the inning. Yes, this is Mauricio Dubon. He's going to hit the baseball to Gunnar. Yes. Gunnar's going to he's going to look, and he's going to throw the baseball. He's going to get him. And now Dominic Smith is going to come to the plate. This video should be faster. Would be nicer. But It's fine. Dominic Smith, ground ball. Look. What the heck are you doing, Brandon Young? What is you doing? Apparently, it had no effect on him, but God, lucky. I mean, it could have been really bad. All right. So they're going to go here with the top of the 7th. They're going to go with this strikeout here. That was Austin Riley. And then they're going to bring in Grant Wolfram. And, of course, they're going to pinch hit Eli White for Mike Yastrzemski. Yes, that Mike Yastrzemski, the same one who used to be in the Orioles organization and the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski. But they're not going to show him hit, so I'm going to have to go to a different window where I got this play loaded up. You got Grant Wolfram pitching. You got Mr. Eli White here hitting. And you're going to watch him hit the baseball down the line, like Pete Alonso not even playing there. But he running. Oh, he falls. Oh, he falls. And he completely falls. And he's completely fallen 10-ish feet in front of second base. All you got to do, Gunnar Henderson, is keep the ball in front of you, then retrieve it, and then go tag the guy to get the out. Okay, good throw, bad throw by Dylan Beavers. Maybe he should have hit a cutoff man. But come on, man. You can't let the ball get behind you. You can't let this ball get behind you. You got your opponent dead to rights. Okay, metaphorically. We're not killing anybody. We're not going to kill anybody. We're not doing that. But you got your opponent dead to rights. Kill him. It's like Mortal Kombat. Finish him. And Gunnar Henderson like, where'd it go? What the hell? Scott Boras going to con some team into paying this douchebag a bunch of money. Hopefully it's not going to be the Orioles. Because from what I've seen, he just ain't worth it. Maybe there were periods of time where he's worth it. But over your premier shortstop, your franchise shortstop, can't at least keep that ball in front of him? That he not worth having out here. Sorry. Goodbye. Get out. Gonna need some major turnaround for Gunnar Henderson, or I'm gonna start saying I want him off this team. Home run here. Off of who? Rico Garcia. Damn. It's like, what happened to Rico Houdini? What happened with the Houdini Act? Now all of a sudden it's Rico. I'm gonna give up a home run every time. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? The only thing I can think of is this organization just isn't that good. Here you go in the 9th inning. Yeah, diving play. Hard play to make. Couldn't make it. Jackson Holliday gets to second base. Lead off. Well, not lead off. Sorry, there's only one out. There is one out, but He's got to make a ridiculous catch again. Just couldn't do it this time. Cowser, deep ball to the center field, a warning track. Track down though. Good center fielder out there. Does get Jackson Holliday to third base. 2 outs though. 2 outs. 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson coming to play. He's going to fail us again. Nope. Dylan Beavers. That's who you want at the plate. Bam! Gets through. Because if that's Gunnar Henderson, the ball doesn't get through. Because Gunnar Henderson just can't do it. He just can't. Oh, and by the way, he'll prove it next game. Not that he's the only one to blame, but Gunnar Henderson will prove it that you cannot count on him. Let's get to the third game. Baltimore Orioles 2, Atlanta Braves 3. Final in 11 innings. That's what I said, man. Close to winning all of these games. Dylan Beavers, 0 for with a walk. Oh, shit. Pete Alonso, 2 hits, RBI, and a walk. Gunnar Henderson, 0 for 5. He only struck out once, but 0 for 5. How many hits did he have this damn series? 1 there in that game. None in this game. 4 at-bats. Another 4 at-bats. Right? So, 1 for 8. 1 for 8 with a walk through 2 games. What's 8 plus 5? 13? 1 for 13 with a walk. This is your third place hitter. Again, your premier shortstop, your starting shortstop, your franchise shortstop. This your guy. Taylor Ward, 2 hits. The guy they said they should trade. Because, well, I mean, to a certain extent it makes sense because you ain't going to do nothing. Unless you get a few pieces at the deadline, you're not going to be able to do anything. Christian Encarnacion Strand batting 5th again, finally with a hit from the 5-hole. 1 for 3 with a walk. I mean, not terrible. Finishes this game, 370 batting average, over 1,100 OPS. Kobe Mayo, PR, it's not pinch hit, but it's pinch run? What? Huh? What? You think that Kobe Mayo is so much faster than Encarnacion Strand that you are willing to take Encarnacion Strand out of the lineup and replace him with Kobe Mayo batting 196? I mean, am I in bizarre world? Am I dreaming? Is this a nightmare? Who the hell's decision was that? The only way that I say that that is okay decision is if there's something wrong with Encarnacion Strand, which I have not heard or read. I haven't heard or read. I'm not saying there is or isn't something wrong with him. I'm just saying I haven't heard or read that there's something medically, physically wrong with him. That he should have been physically able to go out there and run the bases. Otherwise, Kobe Mayo, pinch running? You can tell because Kobe Mayo actually does get an at-bat after this. 0 for 1. With a strikeout. Not that Encarnacion Strand didn't strike out, but like the best hitter over the past two series. And he's the one you're pinch running for? Before his last at-bat? Huh? Okay. Colton Cowser, 1 for 2. Tyler O'Neill, pinch hitting, somewhat in the middle of the game. Tyler O'Neill, 0 for 3, which is disappointing. He does have a hit in the series. He does have a pinch hit in the series. You kind of get why it's just, he just couldn't come through. Larry Tavares, 0 for with a walk. Like Tavares is coming through anyway, so who cares? Jackson Holliday, 0 for with an RBI and 2 walks. All right, so at least there's that. Chadwick Trump, 0 for 3. Jeremiah Jackson, pinch hitting late. 0 for. Sam Huff coming in to do the catching. Didn't have Kobe Mayo available to pinch hit for Sam Huff because you had used Kobe Mayo to pinch run. Not that, of course, to a certain extent, if you put in Kobe Mayo and he can't get in a run, then what do? Who plays catcher, right? Of course, at the same time, who the hell cares? Because you're probably not going to win the game. But whatever. Sam Huff, 0 for 1. 121. Again, small sample size. Pete Alonso, home run. Only extra base hit. Fielding error by Colton Cowser. Just as I've said in a video, you're the best defender Michael Ice has ever drafted. Way to make me look like an idiot. Shane Baz gets a start in this game. Not a terrible outing by Baz, just couldn't go more than 5 innings. Only able to go 4 1/3 of an inning, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run. Yeah, that's happening. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. It's not terrible. The pitch count does get up there. What's the pitch count? Where are you? Where are you? You got to be in here somewhere. Baz, 90 pitches. Josh Walker, first man out of the pen. Yeah, I said it last video that he was called up. Gets the final 2 outs of the 5th inning and then pitches the full 6th inning. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Okay. Anthony Nunez in for the, what the hell inning is this now? 7th inning? And then 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So Nunez in for the 7th inning. Pitching the full 7th inning, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Albert Suarez. Talking about that on the broadcast. You want to hear some mismanagement of the bullpen? Albert Suarez, this is the first outing he's had in 17 days. No health concerns. They just haven't had a game to get him in. Couldn't find somewhere to put him in the game. Maybe you dump one of your damn bullpen arms. Probably not Josh Walker, because you need at least 2 lefties. Because allegedly you don't need them. But you need somebody to keep pinch hitting for Chadwick Trump and Sam Huff. So maybe you need a 3rd catcher. You need to always carry 3 catchers, apparently, because you want to use Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basallo so much that you just need somebody else to back them up. And the other 2 catchers that you got suck so much at the plate that you got to pinch hit for them. But then you end up running out of catchers. So Albert Suarez finally gets into a game and gets 2 innings of work. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Good for him for, staying fresh enough to actually do your job out there. Good job. Taylor Wells in I feel like I've been doing so good with my Taylors and my Tylers. Tyler Wells pitching the 10th inning, the full 10th inning, no hits, no runs. No runs. 1 walk, no strikeouts. Yep, the Orioles actually got through that 10th inning without allowing that extra runner to score. How the hell did you not win this ball game? You want to know why? You want to know why? From the top to the damn bottom of this organization. You all suck. Andrew Kittredge in for the 11th inning. Gives up a hit and a run, not an earned run. Walks 2. In 2 extra innings, you only gave up 1 unearned run. ABS, 1, 2, 3. 3 overturns. 1, 2, 3, 4 confirms. Some of that is you getting extra challenges in extra innings. Every extra inning, everybody gets 1 challenge. Or if you use your challenge, you get 1. If you have 1, you don't get a second. But you'll always be able to challenge at least 1 time during any extra inning. Alright, let's get to the videos. Talk about how bad this shit is. Alonso, good play in the first inning. You're going to see that coming up here. Right here. It's almost karma that our first baseman gets a double play like this to start the game. And the Atlanta Braves, or maybe it's irony, not karma, the Atlanta Braves first baseman, if effectively or essentially ends the game on a play like that. Except ends it well for his team. Colton Cow's error is costly in the first. In the first? No, it's not the first. I wrote it as the first inning, but it's not the first inning. It's a different inning. It's either the second or the third. It looks like it because fourth. It's got to be the... Or no. Shit, I wrote it... Oh, here it is, right here. In the second inning. First batter of the second inning. Trump should have bunted in the second inning. As I mentioned, heard it on the radio first. They got to start bunting because otherwise it can be 2 outs sometimes. Not that necessarily, I guess, punting isn't always going to be 1 out. But if the runners are fast enough, if you get the bunt down, you can stay out of double plays. But they're not doing that. At least not yet. Mayo pinch runs for Strand. Question mark. That's how I wrote it. Huh? What? Here's Kowser's error. Where's the ball? It's behind me. Why did you think it's behind you? Keep your eyes on the ball. Why would you think it's behind you? Keep your eye on the baseball. Have your eyes follow the baseball. I understand it's hard, especially when it's moving at these speeds, but that's why when you're young, you're always taught to keep your eye on the baseball. Here's why it's costly. You gave him an extra base, and now on an out, he gets up to third. If he's not on, if the runner's not on third there, hell, if he's on first when Kowser catches that out, is he able to move up to second? He's running towards center field. Maybe he's not even able to move up. Does Christian Encarnacion Strand, is he able to snare that ball there? I don't know. Maybe. Oh, and because of the pinch running, now no Christian Encarnacion Strand in the 11th inning. And technically, no Kobe Mayo available either to pinch hit for Sam Huff. Oh, and that Gunnar Henderson hit when I was talking about Matt Olson, the first baseman for the Braves. Did I? Where is it that I thought Trump should have bunted? Oh, did I just miss it? I wanted to talk about it. Damn it. Did it not come up in the game here? I thought it did. No, they just skipped it. Here, top of this, and then they go to the third. They just skip it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's annoying. I don't even remember where the hell I was at in this video. Yeah, maybe about here, I guess, right? Was I at with my notes? Thought there's Matt Olson right there hitting. There's bases loaded, 1 out, or actually no outs. Bases loaded, no outs, and it's Gunnar Henderson at the plate. There's really only one spot that if Gunnar hits it, it's gonna kill us because it's a tie game. If a run scores, If a run scores, it's over. And even if you hit it on a line to the third baseman, he's so far off the third base bag that the runner will be able to get back to third base. And again, he's so far away from second base that the runner on second base will be able to get back to back. He's so far away from first base that the runners will be able to get back to the back. So the only, maybe the pitcher, but still the pitcher's far away. So the only place he can't hit the ball is directly to the first baseman because he's left-handed. The first baseman is closer to the line, therefore closer to the bag. The only place that he can't hit it is right there within arm's reach of the first baseman. If he hits it on the ground to the third baseman, on the ground to the first baseman, they have to throw home. They could turn a double play, but with no outs. If the run scores, the game's over. They would have to throw home. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll get the out. But can Gunnar Henderson beat it out? Can he beat it out? He's got a good shot to beating it out. That's what I'm saying. But again, where did Gunnar Henderson hit the baseball? Right to the first baseman. Of course, at the same time, Pete Alonso, your run doesn't matter. Why are you off the bag? You can't be called out if you stay on the bag the whole time. And all you got to do, if Gunnar Henderson hits the ball and he needs to make it to first base, well, actually, technically, he doesn't. He doesn't. You can sacrifice 2 outs at that point, as long as the run scores. You don't need to be off the bag. Now, maybe you can argue that the runner on second base needs to be off the bag a little bit just so he can be moved up because he's, the secondary winning run. If your primary winning run, the runner at third base, can't score, then that guy running at second base, he needs to be prepared to be that guy. But Pete Alonso at first base, he might as well not even be there. But he's only there because, gives the defense an opportunity to get more outs. And he did. Oh, look, team bunting. Good. They're bad hitters, the hitters that are all the way down at the end of the lineup, bunting people over. Good for them. Team managed the right way. And of course, who did the Orioles go get? First-year manager. Not somebody with experience. Not somebody with a playoff record. You trying to win playoff games? You trying to get into the playoffs? You trying to win the World Series? That's what you want? David Rubenstein, Cal Ripken Jr., Michael Elias. That's what you want. But yet, you went out again and hired a first-year manager. Somebody with no managerial experience winning playoff games, winning games in Major League Baseball, playing in a World Series. Nothing. As a bench coach, sure. Not as the head guy. That's who you got. Should tell everybody out there that the Baltimore Orioles do not plan on winning any playoff games within the next 2 or 3 years. That's why. Another reason why Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson have not been extended. They don't plan on winning for the next 2 or 3 years. They don't. Because otherwise, they'd have went out and got a better damn manager. They didn't do it. If you can't tell, I'm really pissed off at these guys. Especially after this. I'm really pissed off. I just feel like a season after disappointment, after disappointment, after disappointment, after disappointment, after disappointment, after disappointment, after disappointment. Because of bad decisions, bad calls, bad performances. You get to a point where it's just, I can't take anymore. No, but at least without saying how bad you are. again, well, no, they're not necessarily pitching around him, but to a certain extent, they're pitching around him. And then you in the ninth inning. What? Excuse me. You really think Kobe Mayo is that much faster than Christian Encarnacion Strand? Would he have been able to go first to third on that? I don't know. Look, I mean, the ball was on the ground almost the whole time. I don't think it really looked like a runner would have a chance to be doubled off. So I feel like he's running hard the whole time. Jackson Holiday finally coming through for the team. Now, not a winning run, it's the tying run, but you needed the tying run. So there's silver linings, I guess. But why pinch run there? Why? Because, yeah, the guy comes to the plate next. Back-to-back infield fly rolls. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Because you walk somebody, and then with the extra runner, infield fly roll. And then going to a deep fly ball, but, you caught it. Got out of it without allowing the extra runner to score. Here you are, Gunnar Henderson. Here you are. Earn that contract that I know you want. Bases loaded. Now, to be perfectly honest, I think Pete Alonso was safe. I don't know what the hell this umpire is doing. I'm getting sick and tired of that shit, too. Every damn close-ass call where it looks like a tie to the damn base. And we're home here. And you calling him out. How do you look at that? And you say, oh, that runner's out. Okay? If the defender beats the runner's out. If the runner ties the defender, the runner's safe. If the runner beats the defender, he's safe. There's only 3 outcomes there. 2 of them favor the runner. But close plays like that in Camden Yards, you pick whichever one doesn't favor the Orioles. You're right. No kind of conspiracy. No, nothing. No conspiracy. 0 conspiracy. 0. Jorge Mateo scores the winning run. You're right. Nothing. No kind of conspiracy. Here's Sam Huff with the bases loaded. Hell, I think if Kobe Mayo hits that ball, Kobe Mayo beats it out. But you couldn't use Kobe Mayo because you used him to pinch run for Christian Encarnacion Strand. Is Christian Encarnacion Strand injured? From what I've heard, he's not. Could I be wrong? You are absolutely right. I could have completely missed that information. I don't think I have. But who the hell knows? Sometimes these guys and gals in these organizations, they're very tight-lipped on what's going on behind closed doors. So you never really know. However, let's get to these articles and get the hell out of here. Yes, back to MASNsports.com. This article here by Rock Kabatko. Going to be talking about Chris Bassett throws bullpen session over. Yep, long video. Lots of yelling. Bullpen session Saturday. The most recent Saturday. He's thrown it already. Rock Kabatko does not mention any kind of setbacks. Just says Bassett throws a session Saturday. Okay. Tracking progress here. Growing. Moving towards coming back. Though at the same time, why? At least as of now. Adley Rutschman throwing on the field, not catching. So technically not playing catch, which is concerning. He's eligible to come off the injured list 3 or 4 days from now. Yeah. Concerning that he has not started to catch yet, which means I feel like we don't know yet. We don't know, but speculating here. He's not coming off anytime soon, which is very, very disappointing. Also, Samuel Basayo. As far as this article is concerned, by Rockabacco, Samuel Basayo is shut down. Creed Williams, assuming I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm pretty sure it definitely isn't Williams. It should be Williams. Is a catching prospect. He's down there with AAA Norfolk. Now, is that because, Huff's up here? So how good is he? I know he's been in the organization for several years. Talks that, give him a shot. Well, earlier this month, and I know we're at the end of July, he was dealing with a hamstring issue, and only somewhat recently, I didn't get an exact date in here, has come off the injured list. So that is going into why he isn't being called up, because so far, obviously, I'm seeing nothing out of Trump or Huff. Okay, you don't want to push these guys along. At some point, they got to sink or swim, man. Otherwise, you're holding on to players like a Jackson Holiday, like a Gunnar Henderson, like a Colton Cowser, like a Adley Rutschman, like a Kobe Mayo. You're holding on to them, and they're just never amounting to anything. But y'all do you. This article right here, getting the numbers from Rock Kabatko that Trump and Huff are combined. 1 for 24. Let's get this schedule, wrap this shit up, and get out of here. Today, Monday, into Detroit. Baltimore Orioles playing the Detroit Tigers. 3-game set in Detroit. And then they're going to come home to play the Phillies. Man, all right. Compared to some other teams, Detroit's not that far away. Tonight, Monday night's game scheduled 6:40. Tuesday night's game scheduled 6:40. Wednesday's game scheduled 1:10. And then an off day Thursday. That's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Thursday, and I will discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Ryno. Thanks for watching. Screwed it up again. Thanks for watching, O's fans.